Have you ever looked up at the night sky, seen those twinkling stars and wondered, what if we're not alone? What if one day, something or someone comes down from there, not with a peaceful hand extended, but with intentions we can't fathom? It's the kind of scenario that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but history, science, and even some of the world's governments have taught us it's worth considering. Could we survive an alien invasion? And even more importantly, can we prepare for one? Well, in today's episode of Ready for Anything, we're not just going to speculate. We're giving you actionable steps for getting ready for what might feel like the most unimaginable disaster of all. Let's dive in. First of all, let's establish that preparedness doesn't mean paranoia. This is not about stocking up on tinfoil hats or hiding in underground bunkers because aliens are surely coming for us. We're investigating logical, scalable steps to help ensure survival in the most extreme circumstances. So step 1, know your risks. Not all aliens, as speculative as this topic is, would come to conquer. Some could be explorers, others could be overseers with no interest in Earthlings, and yes, some might be here for conflict. If Hollywood's taught us anything, it's that alien invasions, fictional or not, often start with massive disruptions to communication systems. Satellites might be destroyed, phones useless, and the internet might vanish overnight. So take some time to evaluate your personal understanding of risks. Identify potential areas in your city or country that might become hotspots if aliens seek resources or control. Step 2, the pros of self-sufficiency. Alien invasions would almost certainly lead to a disruption of all major supply chains. Imagine, no electricity, no water, no crowded grocery stores selling last-minute staples. What then? Start now by learning survival basics. Build a reserve of non-perishable food, ideally enough for 2 months. Freeze-dried meals, canned goods, water-purifying tablets. These should be foundational supplies. Add to that some tools for off-grid living, solar-powered chargers, hand-crank radios, and even physical maps, should GPS systems fail. On the topic of self-sufficiency, don't underestimate the value of learning skills. Take the time to practice starting a fire without matches, growing your own food, or creating makeshift shelters. The more resourceful you are, the better your chances of thriving in any potential apocalypse-like situation. If you intended to someday pick up bushcraft, let this be your encouragement to start now. Next, let's talk defense. If Independence Day-style aliens arrive, with shadowy ships and intimidating weaponry, our sophisticated defense systems might not stand a chance, but you can protect yourself by being evasive rather than combative. Forget Hollywood heroism here. Learn to stay out of sight, develop routes to evacuate cities quietly, and avoid dangerous choke points like major highways. If you own a vehicle, keep it ready for departure at any given time, with a full tank and an emergency travel kit that includes spare tires and first aid. And speaking of first aid, it can't be overstated. During a planetary threat, hospitals won't be available for long, if at all. You've got to become your own medic. Take certification classes in CPR, learn to stitch a wound, and always have a well-stocked, portable first aid kit handy. Consider investing in military-grade emergency medical supplies, like hemostatic agents for serious bleeding or tourniquets. Now, we need to debunk a common misconception. No, you cannot count on government authorities to help you in the immediate chaos of an alien invasion. Look how delayed aid was during catastrophic events like Hurricane Katrina or widespread pandemic shutdowns. Multiply that delay by all the cities in distress during a global alien invasion. It's a sobering thought. This is why community action plans could be life-saving. Get to know your neighbors or nearby friends who have skills that complement your own. Create a local network for exchanging tools, food, or information. A united community is a resilient one. Speaking of resilience, mental resilience will be your ultimate lifeline. Imagine the level of psychological stress on yourself and your loved ones when the skies darken with foreign ships. Maintain your mental stability by adding structure to your preparedness plans. Practice mindfulness, develop rituals that keep you calm and grounded, and rehearse evacuation or disaster plans frequently. Being confident when facing the unknown starts with practice now. Now, this next point seems unconventional, but hear me out. Learn their language. Obviously, hopping on Duolingo isn't going to teach you alienese, but human history shows us how communication across vastly different languages can bridge divides. Carry a notebook, pens, or whiteboards to sketch ideas and attempts to communicate if contacting extraterrestrials directly becomes necessary. Ensure someone in your community knows basic sign language, as nonverbal communication might save lives. While the possibility of an alien invasion could understandably bring fear, let's shift back to empowerment. Think of this as the ultimate challenge, like preparing for an extreme sport or an intense mental endurance test. Every skill or tool you pick up for this scenario can double in usefulness in many other disasters. Tornadoes, civil unrest, or even widespread pandemics. Essentially, you're adding layers to your survival kit that will help you in basically any situation. Lastly, we've got to talk about ethics. If aliens arrived, sooner or later, decisions about moral boundaries will arise. How will we treat these beings? Does survival justify harming others, be they fellow humans or extraterrestrials? Start exploring philosophical frameworks about survival now. Watch thought-provoking documentaries or engage in debates. Knowing where you stand on morality gives focus and clarity when many move purely out of fear. To sum it all up, preparing for an alien invasion isn't really about aliens. It's about being ready for anything. The unimaginable is just a backdrop for reshaping how we think about survival, community, and resilience. Maybe no ship lands in your lifetime. Maybe it does. Either scenario leaves you better prepared for whatever life might send your way. Thanks for tuning into Ready for Anything. If you got value from this, hit like and share it with someone who needs a little extra preparation in their life. Looking up at the stars no longer feels scary when you're grounded and ready for anything.